Hi, this is Greg Ehrs, host of Einstein's disease. Tonight, we've been honored to be able to have Steve Hotovec, a longtime acquaintance and one of the co-founders of Barastone Inc., a home equity investment company. Steve, it's been great to have you on the show today. We've really been able to get some good insight into the potential um, ability for people to access their home equity in a way that they may not have been aware of. And I'm really enjoyed the conversation today.
Great.
So as we close this out, I mean, there's a couple things I want to touch on before we end all this. We went through what the problem was. We provided a solution and a little bit of a timeline to be able to access that equity, provided they're able to, in talking to your professionals, access their equity because they qualify. But let's take a little bit of a step back to our viewers because many of them are entrepreneurs. They're looking to start their own business or they've got one and they've had challenges in their daily life. And so let's pivot away from the product and let's talk about the challenges of being starting a business like this. You've said you've been in it for 10 years. I mean, Einstein's disease, you think you know everything and you just keep making the same mistake over and over again, or your customers don't want to listen. So you've definitely felt that challenge being in this because, as you said, the product's manifesting itself now, but for a long time, it was kind of a desert out there for you.
Absolutely, Greg. I recall uh, one time we were describing to a couple of bankers what this product was, and the bankers said, "Well, why don't they just go get a loan?" And it's like, well, that's easy to say when you don't have any issue getting a loan. And then I had another conversation, and I'm in Northern California, which is kind of the haven for venture capital. And we were talking to a venture capitalist, and they said, "What do you do?" They said, "Why would a homeowner do this? Why wouldn't they just go and get a loan?" And I said, well, let's look at what you do. You're venture capitalists. You put equity investments in. Why doesn't everybody start a business? Just get a loan, right? So there are just situations where just you cannot do everything just all debt based, right? And I think slowly you're starting to see people say, "Yeah, why can't I? It's my equity. Why do I have to go to the bank to ask for them to get access to what is actually mine?" Right? And
Right.
so I think that we've never had a bad conversation, but as you can imagine, you do, people just get used to thinking a certain way, and it's always been debt. And I think that's starting to change.
Yeah. No, and I think maybe you know, what do you feel? I mean, we talked about the different uh, age demographics, but are you seeing some of the younger potential clients or people that you have? They're much more comfortable with this product. It doesn't really scare them as much because they have a little bit more sophistication, or is that am I jumping the shark there?
No, I think you that's exactly what is it? Well, they say invention or necessity is the mother of invention, right? So you have this product, and all of a sudden, people are finding they're starting to look at it, Greg, as home equity is not just it is what if you thought of home equity as an accessible and manageable asset, and that's really the mindset that's starting to happen with not only younger buyers or younger homeowners, but even retirees. They look at, why do I want to do a reverse mortgage when I could just access some of the equity? They might, in a reverse mortgage, you can't leave the house, and you got to pay off that first mortgage, right? So here you can actually keep your low first mortgage. You can get a lump chunk of money, and you might move somewhere else and rent your house out and turn it into a cash flowing. So there's a lot of different ways that people are looking at managing this asset that we call home equity.
No, that's great. So, from the element of my show, Einstein's disease, uh, you run into a lot of prospective, I guess, bankers or investors, and then also people that call in. They believe it's too good to be true, and they think they're getting hoodwinked. And then the investors or the bankers are why they just don't understand the difference. So you've got a challenge to bring those people around, don't you,
Yeah,
Steve?
we do. One of my favorite stories is 10 years ago we were doing this, and a client a homeowner was very excited to do it, and he brought it to his attorney. His attorney looked through the documents. Then we talked to a tax person, and it was 3 or 4 calls, Greg, that we went through. And the last call he said, I've been looking at this. He said, I was talking to my wife. He said, do you guys do condominiums? Right. So he went from being a skeptic to actually one a great referring client and a user of the product. So that's kind of how it goes. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So appreciate you sharing that, because, a lot of business owners face these challenges, being able to get over that hurdle. And I think you've given us a little bit of insight there, and I appreciate it. So what's next for Barastone? What's next for Steve in this business? And how do you see your career advancing? You're obviously an entrepreneur. A lot of our viewers are entrepreneurs. What do you where are you going from here?
Yeah, great question. I think right now we really are having major tailwinds behind this. It took a long time to get there, but the combination of high amounts of trapped home wealth, higher interest rates, and a lot of economic uncertainty, right? So I look at those 3 setups, and we look towards the mortgage space. We believe that this business is very complementary. Now, because it's not a mortgage, it'll take a little bit longer for larger mortgage companies or folks to incorporate home equity agreements into their product offering. But we see being a complementary and adjacent business to the mortgage space. So if you look at Rocket Mortgage and you look at United Wholesale, those are ones direct to consumer. That's right now, so far, that's how most of this product has been sold, directly to the consumer. And we think that there's a big opportunity to open up channel partners, whether those be, solar companies, whether those be ADU, accessory dwelling companies, mortgage companies, realtors. We look to partner with those people to bring this asset class to empower their clients.
So as a business owner and an entrepreneur, I mean, what are you spending most of your time talking to bankers and investors? I mean, you got a team of people. What's Steve do every day?
Yeah, trying to make the complicated simple, right? Whether it's talking to the homeowner and educating them, or the investor, there's just a tremendous amount of communication that needs to happen. The capital markets are becoming more and more accepting of this. So most of my time is spent probably talking more on the investor side. The rest of our team a lot with the homeowners and channel partners. But I can tell you that they've always been very, very good, and it's a good topic, right? I've never gone to a meeting where they said, "Oh, this is a dumb idea," and that's rare. Okay, after doing this for a long time, it's a fun topic, because I think it touches on a lot of it solves a lot of problems, and it's a win-win for both the homeowner and the investor. It's got to work for both sides.
No, absolutely. That's great. So in the last few minutes that we have, I mean, as you said, and well, I kind of called it a desert for 10 years for you. I don't mean to be disrespectful, like you didn't work hard, but the challenges were clearly there, because, you've got securitization and credit ratings that kind of happened in the last, 24, 36 months. Give our viewers out there, the entrepreneur, people that are facing different challenges in terms of what they're doing, right?
Sure.
What would be your advice? What would you say to somebody out there that, their potential clients have Einstein's disease, or somebody they work with does? Give us a little, give our viewers a little bit of advice there.
Well, the one thing that if you kind of have one line of what's my vision of what we want to do, I would say we want to make home equity an accessible, investable, and a manageable asset. And I would say to any entrepreneurs that are out there, or any homeowners, not to look past a powerful asset. Like I said, it's a manageable asset. But we like to say, for entrepreneurs or other folks, if you have home equity, you have options. You really do. It opens up an entire different level or of opportunity for those entrepreneurs, self-employeds, to be able to tap into something like this for something that can advance your personal, career.
Yeah. And the second part of the question was some advice to our viewers out there that are like you, that are an entrepreneur starting a business. I mean, it's been a long road,
Yeah.
but you've stayed with it. I mean, is it passion? Is it belief? I mean, what kind of advice can you give?
I think, good things always take time. It's always going to cost you twice as much, and it's going to take you twice as long. But I think it's really the journey. If you enjoy what you're doing and you can see the progress, there's the economic rewards, but there's actually the sense of fulfillment. I think that's why that is why you're driven. So I think anything worth doing is going to be probably worth doing for a long time and putting a lot of effort behind it. So
no, I absolutely hear you. The fulfillment to your end user, being able for them to be able to stay in the house or reduce
I
their
mean,
debt.
I've done this. This is the most exciting project I have ever worked on.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And so customers can get to you, or prospective clients, people that are watched our show that are interested in this. How do they where do they go to get to you, Steve?
Yeah, the easiest is they can go to barastone.com, barastone.com. Just a very simple website, but there's principals and any member of our team. They can always reach out and ping us on that.
That's a great picture. How come you're not in it, Steve? Listen, we'll end it there today, Steve. It's been great to have you on the show. Love to stay up with your progress and maybe have you back one day.
Great. Thanks so much, Greg.
You're very, very welcome. This is Greg Ehrs, host of Einstein's Disease, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.